fight for fourth and fifth, closing up a little bit. Navarrete onto terms with Thiago Vivacqua. Here it is then. Vivacqua in the Mclaren 570S, the Teo Marti motorsport car, with Fernando Navarrete Jr. right behind him. And then a bit of a gap back to Guillaume Peugeot. The pit window opening in just 7.5 minutes now. And Thiago Vivacqua will have Marc de Fulgencio to take over from him. Whereas Fernando Navarrete hands over to Fernando Navarrete Sr. as Junior looks to the inside and makes the move on Thiago Vivacqua. So back up into fourth position for Fernando Navarrete. So Marti Motorsport team watching on impassively. And again, because with one or two exceptions, it's two drivers going all the way in the GT, or two drivers who are going the whole race single-handedly. Everybody else has got driver changes. We still don't know how the second half of this race is going to pan out. Another look then at that move. And very well executed in the event. But it has changed again because Thiago Vivacqua back ahead of Fernando Navarrete. So that was down into turn one. So we're much as we were. This battle now taking place 5.5 seconds adrift of the leading trio. So JP Mauro, who leads the way, he's now just shy of 3 seconds clear of teammate Hans-Peter Koller. Nicky Leutwiler then 1.5 seconds back from him, and then 5 second or so deficit to this tussle for fourth position. The field swinging on to the back straight. Down the Mistral straight in the background. Meanwhile, Glauco Salieri is now up with Lino Curti. Well, Vignes, meanwhile, is staying in close contention with Guillaume Peugeot. So lots of ebbing and flowing of battles. Now, the two drivers are going to go the three drivers, as we understand, are going to go single-handedly. Glauco Salieri, the Antonelli Motorsport Lamborghini, Nicky Leutwiler, and then also John de Wilde. Everybody else, as we understand, is due a driver change. Eugenio Pisani has never re-emerged from his early pit stop. Now here is a look at Salieri pushing a little bit too hard there, trying to elbow his way past Lino Curti, but he's got past him now. So Glauco Salieri on his way into 8th place. He's now got 4.8 second deficit to João Vignes to chase down. But once he's done that, then Salieri is going to be in a position where he can potentially make quite a lot of ground quite quickly. Here are the race leaders then. The advantage 2.6 seconds for JP Mauro. Not dissimilar advantage from Hans-Peter Koller in seconds. Nicky Leutwiler in third. The tussle for fourth is still very keenly contested. The two McLarens, the two Porsches running interspersed with each other. Here is Thiago Vivacqua keeping Fernando Navarrete behind him. And then Guillaume Peugeot from João Vignes. Now, what ground can Glauco Salieri make up? That's the really big question here. Salieri last time was a couple of tenths quicker, but that was in traffic. As here is another look at that move to go back into fourth place from Thiago Vivacqua. And McLaren pushing past the Porsche. And this time around, Fernando Navarrete not really in a position to re-challenge Thiago Vivacqua. Of course, that may change once they get into slightly more technical sector 3 of the lap. Now, where is Glauco Salieri? There he is. And Salieri is absolutely flying relative to the rest of the field in 8th position. So do watch the black and orange Antonelli Lamborghini. It's running a little bit wide through the Courbe du Cygne from Fernando Navarrete with Guillem Peugeot in 6th, Juan Viñez in 7th. And now this is the part of the circuit where Thiago Vivacqua comes under real pressure from the Porsche. This time around, though, the Brazilian responds to that pressure. He's able to keep Navarrete behind him at least. Now we've got an incident over at turn 7, and we will try and pick out who that is as Navarrete this time looks into the final turn to try and push his way past Vivacqua. Vivacqua will to try and carry a bit more momentum he can down the start and finish straight, and succeeds in getting his nose in front just about by the time they arrive into turn 1. But Navarrete and Vivacqua still very close between them. A little bit of a kick sideways there for Navarrete, and that's going to cost him some momentum. And here comes Guillem Peugeot as the Porsche just slowed as it corrected its angle. So Peugeot passes and moves through. So it's now the two McLarens ahead of the two Porsches in this enthralling fight for 4th position. Albeit a fight that's now happening the best part of 7 seconds adrift the race leader JP Mauro. And when they come round at the end of this lap, the pit window is going to be open, and that is going to throw the race up on its head. So we know the pace of Nicky Leutwiler in 3rd, and he's going to go the whole race distance. We know the pace of Glauco Solieri in 8th, also is going the whole race distance. So here's another look at how it all sorted itself out. Shut door from Thiago Vivacqua, but that meant he couldn't really take the corner, ran out wide. And then was able to reclaim the spot en route towards turn 1. So for now, the Brazilian in 4th position. Meanwhile, this would possibly explain the adventure. It was Gerard Tremblay having a big spin. And then this, the manoeuvre from Guillem Peugeot to make the move on Fernando Navarrete. So plenty of passing going on throughout the field as everybody getting ready for the changes in the Toyota Motorsport pits. And this is an opportunity for Thiago Vivacqua to build a little bit of a buffer in that 4th place for Marc de Fulgencio. As Navarrete to the inside of Guillem Peugeot, nothing that the latter could do. At least on the way into the corner, plenty you can do along the start and finish straight. So the pit window is open. And look in the background, Glauco Solieri has been able to reel in this group of cars as they fought with each other. Solieri has just posted the fastest lap of the race with a 2 minutes 9.372. Will Glauco Solieri be able to pull off against the odds charge through the field, maybe to the podium, maybe to a little bit more? But he's now getting to the drivers that are much more on a parity with him in terms of pace, and therefore that bit harder to find a way past. So along the Mistral straight, JP Mauro leads by 4.6 seconds from Hans-Peter Koller. In 3rd place, it's Nicky Leutwiler. He's a further 2.3 seconds back. Then in 4th, this is the battle we've been watching for the last few minutes, Thiago Vivacqua, 7.5 seconds back from the leading trio, some 14 seconds adrift the lead overall. As the pit stops are starting, and the first man in is Fernando Fortes in the 360 Racing Mercedes, and that is Julio Carlos Martini Filho. And Fernando Fortes, who swapped places. Fortes actually in the car for the 2nd half of the race. Guilherme Salas takes over from Marcio Basso as well. Viñez runs out wide through turn 11, so that gives one more place to Glauco Solieri. As Fernando Navarrete Jr. to the inside of Guillem Peugeot, and he makes his way past him as well. Really enjoyable racing through the first 25 minutes or so of this race. And the balance of performance working out absolutely beautifully between these cars in terms of really allowing a lot of overtaking, but then parity of a lap time as Solieri ducks into the pit lane. He takes An early opportunity to get his pit stop out of the way. Guilherme Salas already on his way. Fernando Fortes yet to emerge. Indeed, there is Fortes. He's just out of the pits now and has got gaggle of cars all around him, so that isn't going to make life particularly easy for the Mercedes driver. Straight into the race. He didn't qualify this morning. He's got two cars running side by side, trying to ease past him. Manages to withstand that pressure. Does he see Viñez just behind him as well? He does. Lino, well, sort of, with Lino Curti also able to pick his way past now as well. So the pit window open for another 8 minutes. And it is JP Mauro who leads from Hans-Peter Koller, Nicky Leutwiler. The action that we've really been enjoying is some 18 seconds off the lead, and the challenge for this group of cars is that whilst they are having such a thoroughly entertaining dice, they are, relatively speaking, to the race leader, slowing themselves down. They're about 1 to 3 seconds a lap slower than the race leaders, and that is making them feel a little bit... Well, it's certainly going to give them a bigger task in the second half of the race. So here is another look, and Fernando Fortes seeing Viñez at the last possible moment. Fortunately, though, contact avoided. I don't think too much time was lost either. So the majority of the field yet to make their pit stop. And of the front runners, it's only really Glauco Solieri who indeed has had his pit stop. JP Mauro and Hans-Peter Koller both come past us once more. Neither of the